talking yesterday about all the PBs you've had this season. How did that time compare? That was more of a tactical race, right?
It was more tactical. It was still a 46.5, so it's still that goes as my 4th all time. So I mean, it's still this year has been kind of special. It's yeah. I mean, I ran a 148, a 149 to start just early. Everything else has been 47s and 46s, which is a long time coming.
And you don't really know why? It's just everything came together this season?
Yeah, like I said, support from home has been massive for me. It's been really huge. My training partner for the last few months, like training with Nate Brannen, who won the 15, him and I have just, we just train really well together. And then, you know, the sports center at home, our Canadian Sports Center Atlantic, has been massive for us. There's been a few times in the last year that have been places that I wanted to get, or kind of got stranded financially or for support, and it's always just been a phone call back home, and you know, they find the support for me, and they've got me out of trouble a few times this year, and so it's paid off for sure.
How long were you away from home?
I've been gone since the end of February. Yeah. I haven't been back to Halifax, so I get to go back to Halifax on the 2nd, which is going to be nice to get home and see my family.
Okay. So did it help to have a Nate in the race today?
Absolutely. I mean, we woke up this morning and that's all we do is we talk about the different scenarios and joke and play, and it's nice just to have someone who's, I mean, so experienced. God, he's been where I have to constantly remind myself of how I need to feel and stay relaxed and all those things. He just does it because he's done it so many times, and so to be around someone like that, it just rubs off. Okay. So it was nice to have him there.
Do you have any family here?
Yeah, I have my sister lives here with sister and her husband, and my 2 nephews are out. I could hear them. I could hear my nephew screaming. So it's really nice.
How old is he?
3.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what do you want to get out of going to London?
You know, I want to just keep riding the season I'm having. I'm still. We haven't set it up for me to peak right now. Well, we set it up for me to peak to try to accomplish it, but the way my progression's been going, I haven't plateaued yet. So I'm hoping I can just keep it riding. You know, I want to get through the rounds, and you know, I want to run a personal best in the semifinal. And you know, if he in the right race and in that sort of field, I mean, when you got guys running 141, the right race though, you run a PB, you can get in the mix, and so it's to make it as far as I can through.
Nate was telling us yesterday all about the pressure he felt in Beijing, and I could probably help having him around the experienced guy too, right?
It's going to be huge. It's been, you know, it's something we constantly talk about, you know, what London's going to be. To which I always have to be like, well, assuming I make it, because I don't want to jinx myself. But I've gotten to talk about it and hear Nate's, you know, experiences. And, you know, he's been making teams for 11 years now, so he's been on a few, and so it's been really nice. I mean, it's going to be huge, and we just said, I just talking to Scott, we're going to room together in London, so it's just going to be that much better to have, you know, him around and be able to draw on his experience.
Why do you guys work well at training do?
Oh, we're both obsessive compulsive cleanliness. It's insane. Our apartment's meticulous always, and we're just always there. There's one time I didn't want to go for a run. I just was tired, didn't sleep well, and I came out and I was like, you know, maybe I'll run at 10 o'clock. And he looked at me and he goes, don't be a pussy. And I was like, oh, fine. And I went and got my shorts on. That was the one time I tried to get out of a run. So, but otherwise, it's just, there's kind of an ownership for both of us to be there for each other. So there's plenty of runs where he felt like hell, and plenty more where I felt like hell. But you go out and you run with him. And we run really high quality and quantity. Well, he does, and I've adopted that. So that's definitely been a big part of getting here.
Even though you're 8 and he's 15, you're similar training?
All of our off-day mileage. You know, on the track stuff, we're rarely together, other than strides.
Right.
We both have good groups in Phoenix, separate groups of that. But on our off-day mileage, yeah, you know, some of the long runs we'll do a couple more miles a week, but for the most part, we just do everything together. Stretch together.
What's a long run for you?
Anywhere from 11 to 14 miles. And so Nate's always at the high end at the 14. Sometimes I'll be at the 11, so I'll tag off and he'll tag a few more on.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's just the lifestyle. We do the same lifestyle. We eat right at the same times. We wake up at the same times. Like, I don't know how many times you wake up to take a leak in the middle of the night, and there he's taking a leak too. Like, you just get so into a groove, and so that's really what it was this year for us.
That's great. So the apartments in Phoenix that you guys?
We stayed in Phoenix for 2 months. Then we were in Flagstaff together, and then we roomed together back again in Flagstaff before this. Now we're rooming together here, and so hopefully we'll room together in London.
Yeah.
Can you request that? Is that how it works?
Yeah. The Athletics Canada sets it all up, and so we'll do our training camp in Germany before, so they'll get us together there, and so it should be good.
And that'd be a good bonus when you're both in London to be roommates.
Oh, it'll be massive. It's just we're in that routine together, you know, and neither of us snore, which is huge. Little things like that, you find somebody that you work well with and you hang on to it, and it's you know, he's had PBs this year and so have I, so something's working.